On this Friday night, pandemic predictions of a dark winter ahead. The fears of a fifth wave, Omicron becoming the dominant variant.
This virus keeps dealing us the next card in the deck.
And anxiety over another COVID Christmas. Vaccine decision division.
You don't think it hurts my heart that I can't go?
No, because you're making that choice.
One family on two sides of the immunization debate, struggling with long COVID.
I also lost my smell and taste again.
The mystery of why some survivors are stuck being sick. And targeting Quebec's religious symbols law, why critics say the feds need to finally take action.
Global National with Donna Friesen. Reporting tonight, Colleen Christie.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a warning for Canadians planning to get together or travel abroad over the winter holidays. With the situation around the Omicron variant changing rapidly, the federal government is urging people to be extremely prudent if traveling overseas, as it's risky and travel rules could change quickly. For people staying home, the advice is to keep holiday gatherings small, even if you're vaccinated. Right now, the Delta variant remains dominant in Canada, but there's evidence of community spread of Omicron in some regions. Some new modeling shows if it takes hold, case counts could explode in the weeks to come.
This is another bump on the road, and we still don't know enough about the Omicron variant, except that it looks like it's very transmissible. Keeping private gatherings small is actually quite important at this point.
Mike LeCouture has tonight's top story on the new projections and what could be in store for Canada if precautions are ignored.
It is tough, and this virus keeps dealing us the next card in the deck.
A blunt admission from Canada's top doctor that she too is feeling the weight of a nearly 2-year pandemic. It came as health officials presented new modeling of where the epidemiological curve could go if the Omicron variant takes hold in this country.
Omicron is not yet prevalent in Canada, has limited community transmission. That is going to change.
Here's how it could change. Right now, more than 3,300 new cases are being reported daily in Canada. If Omicron overtakes the Delta variant and transmission stays the same, it's predicted by mid-January we could see over 26,000 new cases per day. Ontario's top doctor is worried.
As of yesterday, 10% of the samples detected at Public Health Ontario were positive for Omicron. And it's anticipated that we'll have a significant rise in the coming weeks and in the next month.
To increase provincial protection, Ontario is ramping up the rollout of booster shots. Starting January 4th, all adult Ontarians will be eligible for a booster as long as it's been 6 months since their last dose. Other provinces are doing the same, but age accessibility differs. With the threat of yet another wave on the horizon, epidemiologists point out we are better positioned than the previous 4, with more vaccines and more knowledge, which could save us from further health restrictions or lockdowns.
If we can use filtration, ventilation, mask wearing, symptom checks to high effectiveness, we don't need to close things down, quite probably.
Dr. Theresa Tam agrees we have more tools now, but also says we have to look even further ahead beyond Christmas and into March break. And to keep in mind that Omicron likely won't be the last variant we'll have to deal with. Colleen?
Mike, thank you. With the holidays just around the corner, public health officials are urging Canadians to think twice about hosting or attending large parties. Jamie Maraca reports on what experts are recommending and what you need to know if you're planning to travel overseas.
COVID hasn't stopped Christmas at Toronto's Distillery District, but the arrival of Omicron is forcing revelers like Daria Winch to rethink his holiday trip.
The numbers were spiking like crazy in Germany, and I would say it's just the reasonable decision to delay.
A smart choice if you ask our health minister, who warned Canadians of new, stricter travel measures in the coming weeks.
Things are happening very quickly outside of Canada. And so if they think of traveling, that should be a serious alarm bell, a serious concern for them.
Domestic trips aren't as risky, but
Staying closer to home I think is definitely the better choice.
Keeping gatherings intimate to limit contacts, as well as offering COVID-19 self-assessments, masking when necessary, and of course, getting vaccinated. For Catherine Reeford-Ledlow, a mother of two who's also battling brain cancer, this is non-negotiable at Christmas dinner.
Nobody's coming into our house if they're not fully vaccinated. That's it.
There are ways to sidestep the awkwardness of gathering your guests' medical information. You can make it a little more merry by using a free festive Evite.
We can't wait to see you and enjoy the season's glee. But please show you and yours have tested COVID-free.
Or pick up this Toronto-made Christmas sweater, complete with a QR code so hosts can scan you for your Vax Pass.
Know what the vaccination status is of people you're going to be around. You might have to modify how you do things.
At the Deputy Chief Public Health Officer's home this holiday, friends and family might be a little chilly.
Bring some additional layers of clothing because I plan to also use ventilation to the max and have the windows open for a certain period of time, maybe on the hour, to also improve the circulation of air. So that's maybe a bit of a warning to my family members who are coming over.
Celebrating with stipulations so we stay healthy into a hopefully happier new year. Jamie Morocker, Global News, Toronto.
Nova Scotia is reporting a spike in COVID-19 cases. Officials say an outbreak at a university is largely to blame. The province says 55 of today's 123 new cases are linked to St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish. There are now a total of 114 cases connected to the outbreak. It's believed the virus spread at recent graduation events. A high-profile Toronto MP is self-isolating after a potential COVID-19 exposure at a gala Sunday. A number of attendees, including Raptors president Masai Ujiri, have tested positive. Marcy Ian, the federal minister for Women and Gender Equality, joined Ujiri at the Giants of Africa event, an organization he created for youth basketball. Proof of vaccination and masks were mandatory. Ian has tested negative, but she went into isolation yesterday after the Raptors announced Ujiri contracted the virus. Turning to the recovery efforts under